everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Veach Season. We are your guest hosts, Rocky Magaña and Kramer Sansone. Bringing it back at you. The boys are back in town. Kramer Sansone. The boys are back together, reunited.
The boys are back in town.
So good, like the boys of summer, like Maverick and Goose. R.I.P. Val Kilmer, Iceman. You were the greatest. Doc Holliday, whatever your character's name was in Real Genius, Heat, The Saint, every single GD Val Kilmer movie that was a work of art. You were a true artist, sir, and we salute you. And RIP to the GOAT. Krame, thanks for holding it down for me while I was gone last week. I had a family emergency that I had to get taken care of, and you and Binks, did a little bit too good of a job. The people have spoken. We'll get to that a little bit later. That apparently people have spoken, and I'm on the hot seat. If I don't start, if I don't shape up real quick and get my shit together, that apparently there's
you're on the chopping block. Apparently,
there's a new sheriff in town gunning for my seat. And so, listen, in the podcast game, it's like a lot like being an NFL head coach. There's only 32 million seats.
Yeah, there is.
People are just vying for one. Everybody's like, what am I going to do? Start my own podcast? Please. That's so hard to do in this day and age of computers, internet, microphone, and, free podcasting platforms left and right. But yeah, buddy, I missed you. I haven't talked to you in over a week.
Too long, actually.
Felt a hole in my life, hole in my heart. I have the mood lighting going on behind me right now because
it looks good, actually. You're glowing.
My light burnt out in my office, and like the true unprepared person and professional that I am, I didn't have any light bulbs that fit this light fixture in my entire house. And it was time to record. So I have a bunch. I have the lamp off my wife's nightstand to my left. I have my wife's makeup ring camera to my right, and I have them angled.
There's a good chance you might start a fire in your place tonight. What you're saying.
I have so many things plugged into the same outlet right now. It's not even funny. It's like that episode of Christmas Vacation when they go in the garage and they have all the things plugged together, right? And they're trying to figure out why the lights to go. Trying to get the lights to go. The little ones aren't twinkling, Clark. Thanks for noticing that. But yeah, buddy, it's good to be back. I miss the crap out of you. I miss the crap out of everybody else out there. Veach season, baby. We are in full swing. And the draft is less than a month away. We are 3 weeks away from the NFL draft, where we will get to see who the Kansas City Chiefs select. We got a big show for you guys today. A great show. Basically our normal shenanigans with some football talk mixed in there. Trying to go a little bit heavier on the content side since, I feel threatened by Binks coming in and
that's just the aura of Bink. Bink he's
such a threatening human being. I'm so intimidated.
I love that man. He's a teddy bear.
He's great. He's a great dude.
Actually, went out and got him some.
Get on the show with us, right? So we can all rip together.
I actually got a phone call from Bink today when I was at work. He's like, "Hey, you work?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Any chance you could run by and get me some Copenhagen long cut?" And I'm like, "I got you." So I went to the gas station, got him some Cope, and he was fine for the day.
Here's the secret about Copenhagen long cut and any type of chew, especially Copenhagen, right? They have the dates on the bottom of the cans, and the newer it is, the fresher it is. The gas stations put the oldest stuff in the front, but a lot of times they have the newer. And when they get the shipment in, the newer stuff is usually behind the counter and in like a crate underneath. And if you go in there, you can ask if that's the newest date that they have, and then they'll look under the counter for you and see if there's a newer date.
I've never chawed in my life, so I wouldn't know what that would be like.
Neither do I. I've chewed before, but I've never been a guy who chews. I've chewed maybe a handful of times in my entire life.
I put a snus in, but that's it when I was golfing in high school. But
in my early 20s, I was a manager of a Phillips 66. And
So you had to keep focused somehow. So you just had to pop one in every once in a while.
well, no, I had people coming in asking if that was the new.
So you know the lingo.
And then that was the time that George Brett was a dick to me in person. Is that he was playing golf nearby at like Heritage Park because I was at the 151st and Black Bob Phillips 66 location. Shout out Olathe. Yeah. I used to manage that Phillips 66 there 20 years ago and 22 years ago. But anyway, he came in after playing golf one day and he asked for some Copenhagen and I had just gotten my shipment in. So I went in the back and I got him the freshest Copenhagen that we had. It was like just came in, right? As fresh as you could get. And I gave him like the 4 cans he asked for. And I was like, oh, I just want to say, appreciate you, everything you did for the city and for the team. Loved watching you play ball. And he like just looked at me and like didn't say a single word. And I was like, all right, that'll be like whatever it was. Like at the time they were like $4 a piece. I was like, what, like $16, whatever. I was like, that'll be like $16, yada yada. Put out my hand and he looked at me and he like set the money purposely on the counter next to my hand. And then like I took the money and I was gonna get the change. I went to go give it to him and he looked at me and I like made me like put the change on the counter.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's a weird encounter.
Yeah, I was like, all right, dude. I was like trying to talk to him.
Weird.
I was like, how you doing today, sir? And he just like looked at me, like would not say a word to me. Like would not
probably messed up.
me. Yeah, dude, he was totally drunk off his ass. Are you kidding me? This is the same guy that defended Dayton Moore with like 76 F-bombs in like a 90-second period and then had to call into 810 Sports and apologize when he got home because his wife like told him that she was basically going to throw him out of the house if he didn't like call up and apologize.
Never heard that story, actually. That's impressive.
Dude, this was probably not too far on the same time. Like he was at a charity golf tournament. You should look it up. He was at a charity golf tournament and somebody asked him because before the Chiefs, I mean, not the Chiefs, the Royals won the World Series and ever had their run with Moustakas and Hosmer. And like, people were getting a little, frustrated with Dayton Moore's success and track record here in Kansas City. And somebody asked like, hey, if the Royals don't play well this year, should Dayton Moore be on the hot seat? And George Brett full on went off on like this. I was like Karen Kornacki or somebody who asked it, right? Like it was just like a local news station person asked it. And he full on goes off like 93 F-bombs in like a minute and a half period on this person. Like, what the F are you talking about? That's the effing stupidest thing I've ever effing heard. Are you an effing moron? Why the F would you say, no, he shouldn't effing be effing blah, 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 blah. It just went off. It was like all time. It was better than the story of George Brett shitting his pants in the lobby of a hotel in Las Vegas when he's talking to the guys at spring training. Which that video you should look up on.
Oh, no, I know that one. That one I do know.
Yeah. That one's a classic. But this was better than that. This was just pissed off, drunk off his ass. George Brett at a charity golf tournament cussing out a local news reporter.
Nice.
Yeah, we should find it and then we'll play it next week.
All right, we'll go sleuthing. We'll dig.
Yeah, I'll find it. It's on YouTube somewhere. It is literally one of the funniest things. And I remember when it happened. And I remember I was driving to work and he like called into 810 Sports and just like on his own. Like nobody called him, nobody reached out to him. He like reached out and called into 810 Sports. I think this is back before Kevin Keatsman went full weirdo and like I don't know, like
because he was full weirdo in 2018.
Quasi white supremacist, like he went like full just like
he went full Clay Travis.
Yeah, like just complete Clay Travis. And I think he called Brett. He either called into Soren or he called into Keatsman and apologized. It was pretty awesome. All right, well, that's 9.5 minutes out of the way. For all the people out there who want me to get to the point.
Veach season.
Apologies, baby. Yeah, you can't change a cat's stripes. I am who I am, and if you don't like the meandering, then I don't know. Go listen to I don't know, one of those other sports podcast people.
Go listen to last week's Veach season then.
Yeah, just listen to Binks on repeat if you want people to get to the point and stop talking bullshit all the time. All right, well, you know what time it is. It's What's Hot with Krame Dog.
So
Krame Dog, what's up?
It's been fun. I've enjoyed so much baseball. I know we're going back to baseball talk, but this could also go into this idea, topic, or whatever. It could also go and lead its way into the NFL. So yesterday, at the time of this recording, the Pirates Cardinals played, and one of the temperature at first pitch was 38 degrees. The Pirates announced to the fans there that they're giving away 2 free tickets to a future home game to all fans attendance for that game, with the temperature being 38 degrees. Now, I think they should do it a step further. I think sports organizations or whatever should do it a step further as well. I think there should be at least one game per season, whether if it's in the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, that every seat is free. The only thing a person has to pay for is parking and concessions. But that will get everybody's butts into seats watching a game, whether if it's a football game, baseball game, anything. But you have to pay for parking and the food that's there. What are some thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that are that it'd be great for the Royals, and there's no way in hell the Chiefs are ever doing it.
That's fair, yeah. I don't think the NFL would ever toe the rubber on that, but I think a baseball game, that should be easily done.
Yeah,
and
I mean, especially if it's like a Wednesday night game.
Right. I mean, clearly you have to get yourself into a queue, kind of like what the Savannah Bananas do with all their stuff, which can't wait. I'm going there in May. It's going to be sick. I just can't wait. Yeah, I think it's the only way you can properly do it if you're in baseball. But I think they should at least have some sort of time doing that.
Yeah, I think that they should do a night where where the tickets are free and then all concessions go to charity. 100%. All revenue. Great. Concessions, so all revenue from parking and concessions go to charity, and then choose whatever local charities you want to support, and then from there. Heck,
so the Royals to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. That, you know how awesome that would be? Just all that for that awesome. 1 day going back to the museum. Oh my gosh,
it would pay for that new building in like a day.
Yeah, it would. It would.
I mean, honest to God, if the Royals organization just wanted to be a good host and organize like good baseball franchise in Kansas City, they would just contact the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum and be like, yo, we'll front the bill because we got the cash.
Exactly. And for just this one game.
Well, not even that. They just say, hey, we'll write you a check. Let's just write you a check and you will pay for this building for the Negro, because it's such an important part of the game's history in our city, in their city. And literally for the price that you're paying for a relief pitcher with a 5.5 ERA. I mean,
you talking about Chris Stratton or something, or
I mean, just a veteran guy, right?
That guy has like a 6 ERA right now.
Yeah, who's not on a rookie contract, right? I mean, that's just whatever. Like we've had tons of those guys, or what for what you're paying a second baseman who's hitting 235 with like,
or I mean,
with like 265 slug. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I keep going on with the Royals players right now. They need some help. But no, that is what's hot with Krame Dog.
That's spicy. I like it. I would. I'm a big fan of it. Listen. I spent all morning introducing my children to the Butthole Surfers music because because you never heard of the Butthole Surfers?
No. I'm in the wrong end of the music spectrum, I guess. If you're talking about
this is the
just kid stuff.
Divide. No, it's not. It's not kid stuff. Like there's no parental warning on the
Butthole Surfers
the album. Yeah, but it's just it's like early to mid 90s progressive punk rock. Right.
Okay.
So it's all like super anti-establishment and like surf punk and like that sort of stuff. And they're great. They're awesome. Love me some Butthole Surfers. So I introduced my 1.5-year-old to Butthole Surfers this morning on the way to daycare. And unshockingly, when we got to daycare, he was like, no, I don't want to go inside. I'm not going to do what you told me to do. Like I'm sitting here pumping anti-establishment punk rock music into my toddler's ears, and then I'm like shocked when they don't want to listen to me. And but yeah, so
that's being said, that's crazy. That's so crazy.
What that
you're showing your kids full surfers, and then they start raging out because it's punk rock. They're like, I am not.
Yeah,
it's so 1-year-old-esque.
It is. And listen, they are, my kids are super punk rock, especially the younger one. He is I'm so shocked that he hasn't taught himself how to draw an anarchy symbol yet. Like I'm just like expecting him to just like self-tattoo an anarchy symbol on himself before the age of 4.
Oh boy.
Like he is such a rebellious spirit, and like in all the best ways possible, though, right? You know, like
Oh, sure.
he's not going to let, like, he's the kid where I don't worry about him getting picked on or like anybody taking advantage of him, because he is not the type to ever stay quiet about anything or to like ever just like take anything lying down. Like he's like definitely going to be like, no, F you, keep your hands off me, and then run and tell everybody. So I'm like, this is great. I love it. Stay exact. I'm leaning into it. Like
keep being you, King.
Keep being you. I can sand the edges off as he grows, right? My whole thing is I'm not trying to raise like a good 2-year-old. I'm trying to raise like a good like 40-year-old, right? You know,
right.
So like I got years to sand the edges down. I can start with a sharp and like dense block of marble as I want. I just want to make sure that it stays fortified. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I get it. Sorry, there's like 3 cats fighting each other right now below me. So if you see me looking around, that's what's going on.
So that's what you get for running cat fights.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you heard of dog fights? Kramer's over there running a cat fighting ring out of his office. Your fiance got back and she was like, "What in the F is going on here, Kramer?" There's like 6 like little like shady looking guys with like eye patches and like cut off jean vests, like with no shirt underneath, and they're all
everybody
like,
in here smoking cigarettes.
Everybody's smoking like hand rolled cigarettes, and they're all everybody's speaking a different language and just screaming at the top of their lungs and just throwing wadded up bills of all these different currencies from around the world.
It's definitely like that episode of Always Sunny where they have when they're all downstairs in the poker table with Frank.
Yep, it's exactly like that. And so, and she was like, I literally left you alone for like 2 weeks or a month or however long it was.
2 months.
2 months. Wow.
Yeah, she noticed I stopped mocking, so she noticed that I haven't stopped mocking. She noticed that I stopped, and she came back.
Wow, you made a promise not to mock anymore, but it was like
I'm still mocking.
Yeah, of course it was. You were lying to her. Like that's what you do as a guy. You just lie.
Yeah, these are just petty lies. It's okay. They're little white lies.
They're little white lies. Yeah. Why do they got to be white, Kramer?
Isn't that? But that's the saying. Oh, let's not.
Yeah, what? Well, you think a white lie is better than a black lie?
Oh, hold on. What about a purple lie? What about purple or yellow or orange or a blue?
Why do you think that a white lie is better than any other color of lie?
I don't. I don't think any lying is terrible. Mm-hmm. You should never lie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now you just said that a white lie was okay.
Oh, I mean to her.
And that white lies were great.
Yeah, no, just to her though, not anybody else.
Are you trying to say white lies matter?
Oh my. Okay, let's come on. Let's keep moving. Let's beach season, baby.
Beach season, baby. All right. Anyway, so we do have a couple of 5-star reviews today, and it plays right into the start to this show, for how things have gone thus far in this episode. And I am unapologetic for who I am. I am who I am, and it just is who it is. And you are who you are, and we are who we are. And the brand, it's all for the brand, and the brand is the brand, and we love you guys.
We're called Foolish Club Media for a reason. We're foolish.
Yeah, we're foolish. We're not.
And they tabbed us. They tabbed us to do the draft stuff for everybody in the Fans First Network, and they didn't get our name right.
Yeah, they didn't get our name right, and like we're totally gonna pick a long snapper. But F Winchester.
No, we can't do the Winchester. Punt God, see you. You're gone.
Yeah, we're doing.
You gotta learn how to punt in the Super Bowl.
Draft. Yeah, we're doing a mock draft for Fans First Media on behalf of Foolish Club, and we have to make the pick. And we'll talk a little bit here in a bit about who the pick should be,
of course,
and what angle we're going to go with on it and where it's at so far. But before we do that, let's get down to these 5-star reviews. We have 2 of them.
5 stars is great.
Yeah, we had a comment on YouTube that you'll get to in a second, but we have this 5-star review, which is great. It's from They Won't Take My Name. Not sure exactly what that means, but it says Veach season 3 exclamation points.
Let's go.
This is how the show used to be! Exclamation point. Binkley bringing the heat with an episode full of interesting information. See, I don't know how to feel about that comment when it's the one episode I miss. And the thing is, this is how the show used to be. The guy who replaced me has so much interesting information, and this
He
is
didn't
how it used
hold on,
to
hold
be,
on.
and this was so great.
He didn't replace you. He filled in for the week.
Well, looks like
So hey, 5 stars. Thank you. What's
thank
the
you. They
person's
won't
name?
take my name. Listen, they won't take my name. I am
Thank you for the
100%
5-star.
thankful for the
Appreciate
5-star
you.
review, and you're duly noted. All feedback is a gift.
Love it.
There is no such thing as bad feedback. And so we will try to bring the heat with an episode full of interesting information at some point in our careers as podcasters.
Should I go onto the YouTube comment now?
Yes, go on to the YouTube comment now.
All right, this is from last week of said show with myself and Binkley. Enterprise NCC-1701 said, "Without Rocky today? Question mark. Refreshing. I'll gladly watch it today." Wow. My jaw's locking up. Hold on.
I'm just catching it from every single angle today, aren't I? Just I try to bob and weave, and I just keep on catching strays over here.
It's like you're boxing Mike Tyson in the 80s.
Yeah, I'm just out here trying to keep my head on a swivel and survive, apparently. Wow. Who was that? What's that person's name?
Hold on. I closed it out. Hold on. Enterprise NCC-1701. Thank you for your comment. Thank you.
Thank you for
appreciate
your comment, Enterprise NC-1301. We appreciate you checking out the show and giving it the privilege of your time. I'll try to be less unrefreshing to your ears in the future by
he said watch.
Oh, watch. Oh, well, I'm always gonna be ugly as fuck. So, there's no way around that. I could turn off my camera or maybe put on a mask, but other than that,
don't be that guy to wear a mask. They're like we don't need chin diapers here.
I'll be like MF Doom. I'll wear an MF Doom mask the whole time.
Oh, you have to talk like him though.
Yeah, well, I can never talk like MF Doom. I can never rap like MF Doom. He was the GOAT. RIP to another GOAT.
RIP.
MF Doom. But that being said,
thank you for the comment.
Thank you for the comment. Thank you for the interaction. We truly appreciate you. And I'll try to be more refreshing to your eyes and not too painful. All right. So you know what time it is after this, though?
Hey, do we have one more 5-star?
Do we have one more 5-star?
I think you said we had 2 5-stars.
No, I think we only have one.
Okay, all right, good. All right, that's fine. All right, thank you for your comments.
Yeah, the last one we had was before that was from Jordan Westfall. Jordan, thank you again for your 5-star review from the other day.
Of course, Jordan.
We do love you, Jordan, always. But we do, Krame, today have another immaculate work of art from our resident poet laureate here at Veach Season, Larry Quinn Jr. He has crafted a poem for us to read that is a 2-person poem.
Yes,
that is, quite frankly, one of the greatest literary achievements in the history, not of just the English language, but dare I say, Western civilization. He's really outdone himself this time around, you guys. And so we'll do our best to do it justice. But I'm ready when you are, Krame, if you would like us to begin our performance.
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. Clearing my voice. All right. It's called The Call at First by Mr. Larry Quinn. In 85's fall, with hearts aflame, the Cards and Royals staked their claim. To baseball's crown, they battled hard. Each pitch, each swing, a fate to guard.
Game 6 it was. The air was tight. A single run could seal the night. The Cardinals stood on victory's ledge. 1 out away, one final edge.
Then came a grounder, swift and clean. A simple play, or so it seemed. Jorge Orta ran with all his might. The ball to first, a bang-bang sight.
Jack Clark had fielded, tossed it true. Whirl's foot down, the crowd, it knew. Out, they cried in hopeful cheer, but silence fell the rose a jeer.
For Dinkinger, the ump so firm, stretched his arms and made the turn. He called him safe. The moment stalled, and chaos in the night enthralled.
Replay showed what eyes had missed, a foot, a bag, a fleeting twist. But no rewind could change the day, no voice would take that call away.
The Royals surged, their fire fed. From Orta's ghost, the inning bled. They tied it up, then walked it off. The Cardinals left to scoff and scoff.
Game 7 came with shattered pride as Kansas City turned the tide. They claimed the crown in royal fashion, fueled by fate and umpire passion.
And Don Dinkinger, forever known for one quick call that fate had sown. A lesser held in every game that human hands still shape the flame.
Kansas City always gets the officials' love. It's Veach season, baby.
Veach season, baby.
That's true. I mean, you got to think about it. Go back to all of 1985. The Chiefs were getting the calls back and then. I personally took offense to this one because hold on, first off, snaps.
Yeah, don't steal Larry his jewels, his crown, his laurels.
No, it's good. Trust me, it's good. But I felt personally attacked being a Cardinals fan. But I'm also a Royals fan. So I mean,
it's also what you get for having shitty taste in sports teams.
Okay, easy. I said I was a Royals fan as well. Okay.
Yeah, but you are
cover the team now. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I know. I'm really jealous that you get to cover the team.
I'll be there. After this recording, I'll be there that night, and then I'll be there Thursday day, doing the exact same thing.
That's amazing.
Can't wait.
I'm so jealous of your life, and so proud of you.
Thank you.
You are living the dream and making the dream come true in every fashion of the word. And I raise a glass to you, my friend.
Thank you. It's not over yet. Not over yet.
No,
dream ain't over.
The dream ain't over. The dream's not over till you're dead in the ground and rotting, and worms are eating your flesh. And
I want to be cremated so that doesn't happen.
Yeah, me too. Actually, real talk, I would like to be cremated. You know, there's this thing you can do where they turn your body into like mulch for a tree, and you basically like turn into a tree. And I thought that was cool.
I don't think that works because I don't know how many cemeteries around here that I drove past that have trees out there that all the trees are dying. You know what I mean?
Well, you can't legally do it in the United States of America. So that's the whole thing. Is like these companies all exist in other countries because it's technically against the
South
law.
America type thing. I just think dead bodies isn't good for the ground itself, but that's just me.
That's fair. Well, I would also be cremated because I want to.
You don't want that embalmer, fill you up with goo or anything like that.
Well, no, this has always been my entire life ever since I was in high school. My plan when I die is to be cremated, and then my friends have very specific, like instructions on what to do with my ashes. One of them being to jump. And you might actually be able to fulfill this one for me when I die now with your new job title. Is that when the Royals are playing the New York Yankees, that they have to streak out on the field and take a big old handful of my ashes and throw it right in the pitcher's face and then run away.
Why the Yankees? Why the damn Yankees? That's going to get me even more trouble.
Because
first off,
Yankees.
Not sure if I'm going to be able to do that because I like what I do for a living. But by the time that time comes, I'll be like my 80s.
Yeah,
you're living a full life.
You won't be working anymore.
Exactly, but my mobility, I'm gonna have to have knee replacements here soon at some point. So I mean,
we're gonna raise your grandkids and my grandkids to be like, you gotta fulfill Uncle Rocky's, Grandpa Rocky's last wish. It's okay. I'll leave bail money in my will for them. That way they can get out of jail.
Smart. Beach season, baby.
So Kramer,
yeah.
Before we actually start talking about Chiefs stuff, which we are going to get to at the 30-minute mark here in a second, scientists have successfully brought back the dire wolf.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, how are you feeling about this, Krame?
Why? It's been extinct for how long?
10,000 years.
So why now, in the year of our Lord 2025, that we we're bringing these back. Like I'm against it because one, they're freaking massive. If they're going to grow up to where they're supposed to grow up to, yeah, terrifying, and they're going to be walking
150
amongst us.
pounds. 150 pounds.
Yeah, 150 pounds, but they're like 6 foot tall. Like, do you really want a wolf that big chasing you,
Yeah, they're
eating you?
extra. They're
It's going to
extra
have to eat
strong,
sometime.
and they got big jaws.
I don't like it. It's not good. I'm like completely against it. I don't think you should be genetically mutating any other sort of animals in order to make this. I'm out.
Well, they didn't really genetically mutate. They just
They had to have.
they used selective breeding where they got the recessive genes and they just brought those out and purposely bred those over and
Yeah,
over.
exactly. It's genetically mutating them.
No, it's genetic selection, not mutation. There's a
thing.
difference.
At some point, we're going to see a Wolverine walking out there, or a saber-toothed tiger, or even
no. See, that's
woolly
that's
mammoth.
the issue is this is the same company that's working on bringing back the woolly mammoth. And I haven't read the whole story, but I imagine they're a for-profit company. So anytime you're on extincting animals as a for-profit company, then that's the situation where it's a little bit sticky because then you're like, okay, they're going to exploit these animals, like. And the thing is, you can't reintroduce them back into the wild because you don't know what their natural predators were, right?
Right.
So they may not have a natural predator, so which means that you're just bringing them back and breeding them to have them be in zoos or in like.
Great, we're just going to confine more animals in zoos.
Yeah,
gotcha.
National parks, something like that. I am not against it. I'm not against unextincting animals at all by principle. I am more wary of unextincting predators, because
so like T-Rexes, they're going to bring those back. You just know that. They're going to bring dinos back.
Like, so they're working on bringing back the woolly mammoth. I think that's great. They're herbivores. Like, let them eat the shit out of all the plants in the world. I don't care. Like, that's fine. But bringing back a dire wolf, while I think it's really cool because I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, I think it is more risky to bring back what could possibly be an apex predator for whatever environment it's in.
You don't say.
Because then it's like, okay, well, you just threw off the entire balance of everything, which means that you can't ever release them back into the wild. And I don't like the idea of unextincting animals for the purpose of confinement.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of it. Like I'm not a Jurassic Park kind of guy either. Like I don't want a Jurassic World where all this dire wolves just roam the land. I'm in a bubble trying to like watch and look at it, and somehow the bubble that I'm in just breaks, opens up, and boom, I'm their grub. I'm good.
I mean, in theory, Krame, it's no more dangerous than like a mountain lion, right? You live in a world with mountain lions and tigers.
I don't think I've seen a mountain lion in Kansas City in my life.
Well, you've never seen a dire wolf either, and
but this is the climate that they can survive in is here in Kansas City. I'm out on it. I'm out.
Good. How many gray wolves do you see walking through downtown? They don't go near
I've
city.
seen a crap ton of coyotes around the city for some reason. Don't know why. Well, they're just different. No. They're part of the family. They're still part of the family. So at some point, we're going to see more wolves around.
Weigh like 35 pounds. There's
been a lot of dead ones on the road. People have been running them over like crazy around here.
It's because people are taking over their natural habitats. You know,
I haven't seen any new upkeep around where my neck of the woods are, so I don't know why they're coming out.
Well, now because their area is being gentrified and they're being pushed into your neighborhood.
I guess.
So, oh man. All right, so you're saying no on the dire wolf.
I'm out on the dire wolf, man.
I'm saying maybe I could be convinced on it. The only thing you know what's going to happen though is that they're going to be in the zoo first of all, and then like you're not going to be able to get close enough to see it for like the first 6 months because it's just going to be like
it's going to be overhyped.
Yeah, everybody's going to like want to go see the dire wolf, and then it's going to be like you got to wait 6 hours to get there, and then you're going to be like, oh, it's a really big wolf.
Yeah,
which is cool, but it's like. It's also like, okay, well,
this is it.
6 hours. I waited 6 hours.
I stood in line here for how long just to see this damn thing sleeping? He didn't do anything. Heck, he's partially covered by
6 hours to get up there. They're like, oh, they're inside eating right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes like they're not even
literally
outside.
Went to the zoo, Kansas City Zoo, 3 weeks ago with my mother, and we made it to the tiger exhibit. That he just went right on in to go eat as soon as we got there. Less than 30 seconds. Got a 30-second glimpse of the tiger. Hell, we walked over to Africa. There's nothing over there.
Yeah,
Except for a handful of cheetahs sleeping, and they
they're all
ain't doing
sleeping.
nothing. The elephants are put away. The
When I
giraffes
was
are
a
put
kid,
away. I was pissed.
the tiger at the zoo was not nearly as nice as it is now when I was a child.
Yeah, they're
And,
renovating Africa right now over Kansas City Zoo. It's pretty. It's pretty
nice.
sweet.
But the tiger cage back in the day used to just be like a cage, but you could like be like pretty close to it, right? And the tiger walked right past there on a school field trip, and I was like in kindergarten, and the tiger just lifted his leg and peed right on my face.
Hell
He
yes.
shot it right out and just like peed.
He knew you liked the golden showers.
Hit me right here in the forehead. Yeah, I gotta
No, he actually like legitimately that got on you.
like
That's
legit
amazing.
on my face. Yeah,
That's
when I was
you know what? That's probably why that's why you are who you are today. Think about it.
I was anointed. I was anointed with the golden the golden
showers.
juice. Yeah, of the tiger.
He had a golden shower from a freaking tiger. It's
I
amazing.
got a golden shower from a tiger when I was in kindergarten, and now I let my kids listen to Butthole Surfers.
Yep.
That says it all right there.
Makes sense. Checks out. Veach season, baby.
Veach season, baby. All right. As we promised, we're gonna do a little bit of Chiefs content here now.
Just a little bit.
The Chiefs re-signed your favorite football player, Mike Edwards, this week.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, he's your favorite to be a rotational safety player. He's gonna work in the mix, right? But he was a solid enough.
Was it 2 years ago he was on the team?
Yep. Yeah, Super Bowl champion. Mike Edwards.
That's why they lost last year. They didn't have him.
Yeah, Mike Edwards leaves the team, and suddenly we lose. Coincidence? I don't think so. That's why they were like, "Oh, Justin Reed, you can go on to wherever you need to go. We're gonna re-get Mike Edwards."
Where's Justin Reed at again? Saints.
Yep. He's in Kansas City South.
Down there in the bayou.
Yeah, down in the bayou, all the other Chiefs players are. Which, speaking of which, all the other Chiefs players, Colin Saunders, Sir Binkalicious, I salute you for throwing, to my knowledge, is one of the first football camps that focuses on inclusion with LGBTQ kids being invited to it and embraced. And so I appreciate you looking out for kids who some people don't look out for and who usually are not welcomed into the sporting arena.
Yeah. Bravo.
He caught a lot of heat from it from assholes on social media, and in true Colin Saunders fashion, he challenged every single one of them to a fist fight. It was great. It was some of the greatest Amazing. Twitter moments I've ever seen is Colin Saunders going tweet by tweet, challenging every single Neanderthal that was trying to talk trash on him, including LGBTQ kids to a fist fight. It was a lot of fun. But so Justin Reed's in New Orleans with Colin Saunders, and Mike Edwards is back in Kansas City. The Chiefs also signed veteran defensive lineman Janoris Robinson, former Las Vegas Raider. Kramer.
Yep.
What should Chiefs fans know about Robinson?
He's going to be rotational, clearly. Hopefully he's there to get tackles for you because it was very minuscule when he was there in Las Vegas. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get a big body that's hopefully backing up whoever they draft in the combine, or not combine, the NFL draft. It's going to be on the defensive line. So yeah, no, you should be happy. I mean, heck, it seems like they're picking up all old Raiders, the defensive linemen, and they got Tillery like 3 or 4 weeks ago during the open season of it. So they see what the defensive line did a handful of years ago and last year, and they want to basically beat the Las Vegas Raiders on the defensive line. I get it.
Well, they Veach is filling holes, and
he has to. He's a cheap guy.
He's unhandcuffing himself for the draft, like we talked about before.
It's like when they got Nelly Farrell last year and they didn't even play. It's like former Raider. I mean, he likes the Raiders guys. It's like it shows. That's why Brett Veach keeps me around. He knows that I have the insight with the Raiders stuff, and that's why he has me here on Veach season.
You guys don't know this. Like all this time we've been saying Brett Veach refuses to host his own podcast. He's actually just feeding stuff into an earpiece for Kramer to say on air 24/7. Kramer is really just a mouthpiece for Brett Veach on the podcast.
You're not supposed to disclose that, Rocky. That was in the contract. I may not be here next week.
Yeah. Well, sorry. Well, no, let's face it. It's going to be Big Clean's podcast starting next week. Neither one of us will be here. Sergeant's going to be like, oh, I talked to Big Clean, and he said he would love to do Veach season full time. And thanks for your service, you guys. And that'll be it.
Yeah, that would be it. Yeah, that would be it.
That being said, the Chiefs have continued to pick up on their top 30 visits recently.
One of the guys they brought in. I think they should be able to get in like the later parts of the draft. Wide receiver.
There's a couple of guys they brought in that
that I really like. I like him. I love him actually.
Yeah,
he's one of my draft.
You want to go and talk about him first?
Isaiah Bond, part of the top 30 visits. The Chiefs desperately need another wide receiver. They shouldn't be drafting one in the first round, but if you would need a guy in the second or third, Isaiah Bond should be there. And he's got the speed, he's got the quickness, he's got the agility, he's got the hands. He's basically just a little bit slower, Xavier Worthy, and slightly a bit taller.
Yeah, he's
great.
He was reminded by Xavier Worthy pre-combine that he is not as fast as he is.
Yeah,
But
slightly less fast.
Yes. That being said, he is far from slow and far from unelectric. He is not the biggest guy in the world, but I tell you what, he is what Andy Reid is dreaming of when he's soaking with Tammy. Right?
Okay. I don't want to visualize that.
You want to talk about like what Andy Reid's thinking about to like get off when he's soaking? He's dreaming of Isaiah Bond in a Chiefs. He's visualizing Isaiah Bond in a Chiefs uniform. And that's what does it for him.
Oh boy.
He is
just visualizing that is just
dream come true at wide receiver.
Andy was on another commercial I saw the other day, and he's looking pretty slim now. He's looking good.
Tell you what, man, when you got that insurance company money, the insurance endorsement money, you can start to afford to start tightening things up. You know, there's those mommy makeovers that women get down here in Florida all the time, where they just tighten and lift and implant everything once they're done having kids to put everything back in place. And Andy just had a big daddy makeover. I think
I just think Andy's eating more protein, less carbs. It's the best way to do it.
You think he's doing cheeseburgers in a lettuce wrap?
Yeah, he's definitely not using buns anymore. He might just honestly just be eating the patty with all the stuff on it with a fork and just like mixing it on up and just chowing it back.
You think he's gone paleo? He's gone full dire wolf diet?
I mean, does that mean you're eating dire wolf meat?
No, it just means you're just eating meat without carbs, basically.
I mean, I wish I could do that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But honestly, the carnivore diet you should not be doing. So at least you shouldn't be doing it more than a month. That's when you should give you a 4-week carnivore diet, then never do it again. I want to try it at some point, but I just don't have the money.
Yeah, the thing with the carnivore diet is you have to be careful about when you reintroduce carbs. You don't just put all your weight back on. You got to like stagger it and do it smart. Otherwise, you'll just put on everything that you lost.
We'll see.
I do the intermittent fasting, and that's purely because I wrestled from age 6 all the way through high school.
You're just used to it.
I'm used to starving myself and then binge eating. And so it's just like, it's not intermittent fasting. It's just what I've always done my entire life. And so I just keep with it, and it seems to work for me. Yeah. So that being said, Isaiah Bond, top 30 visit. I don't think that Andy Reid can go a full draft without adding offensive weapons. And I don't think it's smart for the Chiefs to go the whole draft without adding a skill position weapon on the offensive side of the ball when you have Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. I think the Chiefs by default should have a principle where they draft a wide receiver in the top 100 every single draft, because when you're paying Patrick Mahomes the money that you're paying him, you're not going to be able to retain every single player in the world. And B, you need to have and if you're going to lose guys a la Tyreek Hill, then you need to be able to have a steady stream of targets to to reload the chamber with, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
just be on a rotation.
Because you have like 2 or 3 more years with Rashee Rice. You have 4 more years with Xavier Worthy. Then if you do get Isaiah Bond, that's what 4 or 5 years with him. You already know Hollywood Brown's going to come off the books probably next year. So
Travis Kelce coming off the books next year. Yeah. So
you need as much as you can.
Yeah, I think. I mean, and in today's day and age, you need you need to be 4 deep at wide receiver regardless. So you just need to continue to take guys, especially with Andy Reid's offense and how it takes 3/4 of a season for a guy to really get acclimated and start making an impact, right? Like we saw that with Rashee Rice, we saw that with Xavier Worthy, right? Like later in the season, they become the dudes.
Yeah.
But early in the season, there's a lot of games where it's a bit of
Growing
a slog.
pains.
And there's a lot of growing pains there. There's a lot of games where they just don't do much. And that's to be expected. And so if you're going to have like a essential red shirt regular season for each wide receiver, then you need to make sure that you have a steady pipeline of wide receivers coming through. So I think Isaiah Bond is 100% like who the Chiefs target as a wide receiver. I think Luther Burn, the only way they don't take Isaiah Bond is if Luther Burn the third, drops to 31 and they pull the trigger and they take him instead.
He's not dropping. They'd be stupid if the teams would be so. Oh my gosh,
I know
teams would be so stupid.
Listen, what you see in mock drafts,
my gosh.
Listen, whatever you're seeing in mock drafts this time of year is when mock draft people have gotten bored because they've done so many mock drafts that they want to have something different, and so they're like,
here's the thing: you just can't do enough mocking. You
can't, but you start getting these crazy ideas in your head, like, well, what if Luther Burden's the 5th best wide receiver in the draft? Then because these other guys I watched I really like, well, then he can't go in the first round because there's going to be 7 offensive tackles that go in the, you know what I mean, right? And
right.
You're convinced yourself that Luther Burden's going to fall out of the first round, and then come draft day, these teams have not changed their boards once, right? Like since they watched it, since like February, their boards have been set in stone, and they're just bringing guys on top 30 visits to confirm what they already thought and just look for red flags. And if they don't see any red flags, no news is good news, kind of thing.
Yep.
And so then all of a sudden we're like, oh wait, he goes top 15. That makes sense, right? Like that's where we thought he was going to go in the first place. Back wherever you thought he was going to go in February is where he's going to go in the draft. Like look at big board rankings and like mock drafts in February. And that's probably the most accurate to what's going to happen in the actual
draft. It really
is. Because at this point, people are just hurting for content and they're reaching. But luckily for Veach season, we're never hurting for content. We can talk all day.
It's true.
We can just bullshit all day, all night, and just keep this train running. And be damned the 5-star reviews we get. Listen, they can talk shit as long as it's a 5-star review. I'm good with it. I've come around on it. Another top 30 visit that the Chiefs had was another offensive target, Jalen Lane out of Virginia Tech. And I think Jared Sapp over Arrowhead Pride, brilliant, big brain Jared Sapp, our cap guru here on Foolish Club Media, said it best when he said, next time I want to punish my children, I'm going to make them watch Virginia Tech's offensive tape from 2024.
That's a good point.
It's rough. It's hard. And so with that, it's hard to get a gauge on what kind of player he is and what his actual upside is and how good he can be. I mean, he's going to be a bottom of the roster, 5th, 6th wide receiver, probably practice squad guy, if we're being honest. They brought him in for a top 30 visit though, so there was something there that they did like.
He's an under signing if they need him, if he's there.
Yeah, if he's there, I think that's what it is. But one guy who's not is the guy who led all of receivers in yards and targets last season. Harold Fannin Jr., tight end from Bowling Green, the Chiefs also brought in on a top 30 visit. I was up until 3:00 in the morning watching his all 22 film yesterday as I was writing up an article.
It's a good one
on Arrowhead Pride. It's a there's a lot to like there, and there's some stuff not to like. he has a great motor. His motor is awesome. He cares. He cares about the game. He loves the game. He plays hard. He gives everything he has. In the blocking game, everything he has is not very much.
But
Always.
you're not going to draft him or sign him to block at this point in time.
That being said, yeah, he's 6'4", 235 pounds, so he's an undersized tight end. Regardless, he's not really a tight end. He is a guy who's too big to play wide receiver, who they call a tight end. Right? He's a big slot. Right?
Let's put him out there to see what he can do.
Yeah. So the question is, he's gonna produce. The question is, does he give like he's more of a Juju Smith-Schuster replacement than he is a Travis Kelce replacement. And also saying Travis Kelce replacement is disrespectful. You're never going to replace Travis Kelce.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest players of all time in his position. You're not going to replace a GOAT with no matter who. You could get an all-pro tight end and still not replace Travis Kelce.
It's true.
That being said, Fannin is pretty stiff in his hips. He doesn't come out of his breaks very quickly. He does run hard. There's not a lot of, he doesn't sell his routes very well. But he is big and a size mismatch for opposing defenders. And he understands leverage really well and body positioning really well on his routes. But he doesn't get a ton of separation. So because he doesn't get a ton of separation, he lives and dies by contested catches, and it's hard as hell to make a living being a purely contested catch guy in the NFL on a consistent basis. The one caveat to that is he is pretty good on the wide shallow cross, which we know that Andy Reid loves. But really, anybody can get open on wide shallow cross. That's why Andy Reid loves it so much. But he has strong hands, and he is awesome when it comes to contested catches, catching in traffic, holding onto the ball. Great teammate. Like he was a 0-star recruit coming out of high school and was a linebacker. He was a linebacking recruit coming out of high school who was 0-star, not recruited by anybody. Played at Baylor. Played at Bowling Green. Was the only place that he even he had no offers from anywhere else. And he played wide receiver and safety and kick returner in high school, and then was supposed to be a linebacker in college and then converted to tight end. So there's a lot to like there, but he had 117 receptions.
That's a lot.
Bowling Green.
A lot of work.
A lot of work to get.
They relied on him a lot. I mean, I'm just going to say it's because it's the competition that they went up against at Bowling Green. But who cares? I mean, he was able to make the catches, get the touchdowns, get the yards after catch. I get it. He might not be the best guy to get off the line, but he's going to be a serviceable guy with great hands. Like I want the guy who has the great hands rather than him getting off the line, because I know at some point I can throw it to him, he'll catch it. So
yeah. Well, here's the deal: is that playing at Bowling Green, his level of competition was not as high as some other guys like that played in the Big Ten or SEC. That being said, he had a really good game against Penn State when they played. And he kind of tore up Penn State pretty bad. That being said, also Penn State is known for having a slow ass secondary. So it's like, okay, so the guy who's not overly athletic was able to get separation on a slow ass secondary. So I see him more as a Jody Fortson than anything, right? He could be.
I'd say better than Jody. None offense to Jody Fortson fans, but I think he could be better than Jody.
He could be better than Jody because Jody never got a full season to actually develop because he was injured. He could be what Jody Fortson could have been if Jody Fortson stayed healthy, I think. But I do think that there is a ceiling on what he can be as a tight end in the NFL.
Sure.
So I if he's there at 133 and you take him, am I going to be upset? No, not at all. I think that's great value at that point. Another guy that the Chiefs apparently really like that I haven't watched yet is Brandon George, linebacker from Pittsburgh. They met with him. They brought him in for a top 30 visit. and they went to his pro day and met with him at his pro
So
day.
they love him. They love him. Expect him to be a Chief.
Yeah, and so linebacker for Pittsburgh, Brandon George. Don't honestly know too much about him at this point. I need to dig into him and read him. I'll probably write him up for Arrowhead Pride next week. So next week I'll give you guys an update on him. Then another guy they brought in for a top 30 visit that I absolutely love. I mean love that I'm pretty high on is Damian Martinez, wide running back out of Miami. This is a dude that sometimes runs too hard and doesn't let his blockers develop. Maybe he's upright a little too much sometimes when he's running too, but he is an electric athlete, and he is a load to bring down, and he is seeking out contact, and you love to watch. He's an exciting player to watch.
He's not my cup of tea when it comes to running backs in this. Like, there's so many more running backs that they could possibly get. I don't know. I like him, but I don't, if that makes sense.
Are you saying that if they take him at 133, because right they go 133 and then into the 200s, and I don't think he'll be there in the 200s. So really, with a lot of these guys, we're looking at that 133 pick. If he's there at 133, are you upset or are you stoked?
And
it's
tough because I know for a fact the guy that I think and want will be there at 133 and Devin Neal. Like I think Devin Neal is so much better than Martinez.
Well, if you're at
130, if you're doing value wise, this day I might as well.
Okay, so let's
you need a running back. You have to draft a running back no matter what this draft.
Yeah, we do. 100% we do. So let's bring up PFF for a second here, and let's play NFL draft running back. Would you rather? And we'll see how far you got to go down the list before you will say, like, yeah, I like this guy. I like Damian Martinez better than this guy, and I would like to see the Chiefs.
Okay.
Select him. All right. So
okay.
Let's just
let's look at it.
Let's look at it right here. I'm going to bring up the running backs right now. All right, so we'll go through a couple who are obviously like you like Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton, Cam Scatterboot, Dylan Sampson, Caleb Johnson, Trayvon Henderson, Keyshawn Judkins. You like all those guys better than Damian Martinez.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe not Henderson, but I'm just not a Henderson guy. I side with Judkins no matter what. But yeah, no, I'd still take him over Martinez. So,
you take him over Martinez, right? That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Right, that's the Mendoza line. Martinez is the Mendoza line right now. Okay. So would you take is Trayvon Henderson above or below the Martinez line for you?
Above.
Okay. RJ Harvey.
Above.
DJ Giddens.
Above.
Devin Neal.
Yes. Above.
Jaden Blue.
Below.
Okay, so is that it right there?
Probably that right there.
Yeah, right. I would say looking at it.
Who are the next two?
Well, the next two would be Trevor Etienne, Jarquez Hunter, Brashard Smith, Khalil.
I like Etienne.
I do like Etienne. As a receiving back, I think that Martinez is more of a complete.
He's an exclusive. He can do both.
I mean, like what you like Ollie Gordon better than
I do actually.
Martinez? Yeah, so Ollie Gordon. Jordan James.
No.
From Oregon. Nope.
I'll take Martinez over him.
Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt.
I know it's your guy, but I take Martinez over him.
Yeah, that's fine. Corey Kiner out of Cincinnati.
Below.
All right. Taj Brooks.
Below.
All right. Yes, that's it right there, right? That's pretty much everybody.
Yeah. So he's like my 11th or 12th or 13th running back that I like.
That's 1, 2,
a lot of running backs.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's your running back 13.
Look at me doing that quick math.
Yeah, and let me look at it. I mean, I'll be honest. I like him a lot as a player. I am big on him, but I'm big on this running back draft class as a whole anyway. And I'd say he's probably my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would say he's my running back 12. I would say that. Yeah.
All right.
I think that
we're around the ballpark. We're on the same ballpark.
I'd rather have him over Ollie Gordon. That's the difference there, I think. And I'd rather have him over Trevor Etienne. But I would rather have Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt over him.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, I really do. I think he's such a stud. Um,
I like Would You
okay.
Rather. Man. Like him.
Well, that's good because we're actually going into our next segment is Would You Rather Draft Edition.
Hell yeah, let's go.
All right, so I have 4 questions for you for Would You Rather Chiefs Draft Edition. Would you rather the Chiefs trade up in the draft or trade back in the draft?
Up.
Why? Defend your position.
Because the position of need is left tackle, and the only way you can get a left tackle is if you trade up in the draft, and they have to trade up in the draft in order to protect 15. That's why I think they should trade up rather than trade back.
So you think that you would rather have them trade pick, say
31 and 31 and 62. I think they have 62 or something like that. Trade both of those to get up there to however high you need to go because you need to get a left tackle. You need to get one.
To get who?
Hell, if you can get up that high, possibly throw in another draft pick for next year. If you get Will Campbell, that's like cream of the top. But I mean, we're big Kelvin Banks Jr. guys here, so
Yeah.
if you can't get up to the top, yeah, you're definitely taking Kelvin Banks Jr. like in the mid-10s.
You know what made me more of a Kelvin Banks Jr. guy was watching Kyle Kennard, edge rusher from South Carolina, who the Chiefs met with at the combine, completely dominate Will Campbell when they played. Just
really
made him his bitch. Like it was bad. And so I was like,
but sometimes people do have bad days. That does happen.
Sometimes they do have bad days, but
and when you're Jawan Taylor, it's every single day.
Well, yeah, and when you're Kingsley Suamataia,
it's every practice.
It's every rep. Okay.
Unfortunately.
So if you traded 31 and 62, your target would be Kelvin Banks Jr. What like pick? What pick 19, something like that?
I think you have to get to like 15 or you have to get up there because remember we tried to trade up and the Broncos took our pick and so it's like
the Broncos are pick 20.
So you got to at least get 18. I think you get to 18, you're fine.
So you're trading with Seattle.
Yeah, I think Seattle. I think you could definitely get a trade. You can trade with Seattle. I don't know why. I just feel like that's the zone that you can get to. I've felt confident in that over the past couple of months just looking at it.
Okay, so would you rather, since you're trading up, would you rather have Kelvin Banks Jr. slide to that position or Armand Membu?
Ooh.
Knowing that Membu's never played left tackle, only right tackle.
Well, hell, I just drafted him to put him at right tackle. He's clearly better than Jawan Taylor. So, no, I'm just doing Kelvin Banks Jr. You need to get a guy at that position of need. You're paying, Jawan Taylor one more year of $20 million. Is it 2 years of $20 million? Then you can worry about right tackle next year or get somebody that's in free agency next year. You need to assess that left tackle. I don't think the guy that they brought in from the 49ers is going to cut it. I just don't. And you might as well.
It could be your right tackle.
That's true. I mean, honestly, I'd rather move more over to right tackle and just honestly cut Jawan Taylor. You can't cut him clearly.
Yeah, it's $20 million in dead cash. You can't cut it.
It's not. Well, here's the thing. It'd be this for this season though. So you cut that, you cut bait, you're done with it. It's
the last year of his contract.
True, might as well keep him on the bench. Might as well. Yeah, I guess.
Bench him and keep him in case you need him. Like break glass in case of emergency.
I need a warm body. Come on.
Yeah. All right. Would you rather have the Chiefs?
What about you?
Oh, you're gonna ask me?
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know you about that one. I like because clearly,
okay. I think I would rather have the Chiefs trade up and take Kelvin Banks Jr.
Okay, that's what. Okay, good. I thought we were thinking the same thing.
You do whatever you have to do to get Kelvin Banks Jr. as your left tackle
in
this draft, I think. Okay, so then would you rather have the Chiefs not take an offensive tackle in this draft or not take a pass rusher?
Pass rusher. They've figured it out by just signing guys off the streets. Hell, they done it with 2 former Raiders guys just within the past 3 weeks. So I mean, you got Chris Jones there, and then you also have the edge rushers you currently have. You're fine. Like George Karlaftis is good. Mike Dana is going to be good. You got FAU, who stepped up quite a bit in the second half last season. I
got a Menahue back.
And a minute Hugh is back. They've got 4 guys that they can rotate, and they're fine. Like the defensive line's good. That pass rushes are gonna. It's gonna be what they did last year, but they need to have more than 8 sacks because the guy that had 8 sacks is not on the team. Yeah, I know. But
last year's your high water.
It was still a good defense.
You're not doing great.
It was still a good defensive season for the Kansas City Chiefs last year. You cannot take that away from them, and those guys did make the reason why for that.
Listen, I mean, technically, it was a good season for the entire team last year. They made the Super Bowl.
Exactly. They didn't get the sacks we all wanted. It's okay. We all got a Big Mac the next day after the game.
Yeah, I think I'd probably not taking a pass rusher as well.
You have to get line.
You have the most important player.
And you still have yet to extend Trey Smith.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here?
You have to take care of Patrick Mahomes. I think they're waiting until after the draft to see what happens on whether or not
why
they extend.
If you're all on him right now, Brett, I know you're listening. Hold on, I can't talk. He's listening.
He's cussing you. He's like mother effing Kramer, I told you not to talk about Trey Smith anymore.
No, I think if that's your guy, you clearly want him to stay here, get the deal done. Get the deal done tomorrow. It should have been done yesterday.
I agree. I think that the Chiefs in general are just holding off on any big money deals until after the draft at this point.
Why? It's already a new league year. There's not like there's any money that he could pull from the tree right now because what you got's what you got. And there's 20 people, over 20 to 30 players going off the books next year. You can prorate everything for that following season. Like you can get that done. It's
because Ozzie Trapillo could get a DUI tomorrow and end up a 7th round draft pick.
I hope that doesn't happen for Ozzie because he'd be a great guy here. He could play right tackle or right guard. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Heck, you could sign him to play left guard. You just draft to play left guard, right? And so
exactly.
I think that they're just more than anything, they probably have more important things they're worrying about with the draft. There's only so many hours in the day, and they're preparing for the draft. And they don't want to sit in a negotiation room trying to hammer out an extended contract for Trey Smith. But I'd go no pass rusher as well. Would you rather draft a wide receiver first or a running back first in the draft? Not in the first round, but like with your picks, would you prioritize selecting a wide receiver or a running back?
Running back. You have to get a running back. You got the wide receivers' weapons already. You already have the weapons for the wide receivers right now, but running back, I don't trust Isaiah Pacheco. I'm sorry. I'll say it. I'll have the courage enough to say that around here. I don't trust Isaiah Pacheco. I don't trust him staying healthy. I don't trust him either. He's what? He's 80? He's 80 years old now. His production was great once he got on the Chiefs. Weeks 15, 16, 17, 18, where was he at? Like playoffs, where was he at? Maybe the first their first game in the playoffs was decent because they were already up. Who are they playing? The Texans, I think. I don't know. They used him. I get that. I just know. Kareem Hunt's a guy that is honestly you shouldn't play him at all until the back half of the season when you know his legs are truly fully healthy to where you're like, hey, Kareem, get in there. Just start hunting those boys and get the job done.
Kareem Hunt is like the Taken franchise. In the very beginning, the very first one, it was awesome. By the time we got to the last one, Liam Neeson was looking really old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the best way to put it.
So, I agree. I think I'd take a running back. I think it's also one of the deepest running back draft classes we've had in a really long time. And you gotta walk away with one of these guys. All right, last one. You ready?
Yeah.
Would you rather get kicked in the nards by Harrison Butker or get hit in the nards by a fastball from Patrick Mahomes?
Fastball from Mahomes. That's gonna be
like 96 miles an hour.
Yeah, but do you not know how fast Harrison Butker can whip that leg back and put it through your nads? Plus, also, you got to think, there's no separation between the leg kick except for it's his foot and his shoe to the nuts. At least Mahomes has to accurately throw it and hit it your nuts.
Okay, either
And
way,
honestly, I don't think he's
for
throwing
sake of
96 right
argument,
now.
sake of argument, he's hitting it dead on, right? He's
But I
hitting,
also don't.
he's putting the seams right between the crevice of the sack where the two boys meet. And
Well,
it's
that's
just
good though
right
because
there.
I'm hanging, so it's gonna hit it in like a speed bag wise. So it's just gonna hit off of it. It's gonna hurt. It's still gonna hurt.
No, it's
But you
gonna
gotta think
drive them up into
the
your asshole. Is what
no,
it's gonna
that's
do.
what the kick's gonna do. Is gonna drive it up to your taint region and possibly touch your asshole. That's what the kick's
No,
gonna
so
do.
so the kick is gonna like knock it and kick them up into your asshole. The fastball might just tear them right off and just leave
I
you with
don't
like a
think
torn
Mahomes.
open sack and two nuts laying on the ground in
I
the
don't
dirt.
think Mahomes is touching 95. I don't think he's touching 85 when it comes to throwing a baseball right now.
What?
Yeah, I don't.
You don't
Yeah,
think so?
I don't think so.
He was throwing 97 in high school.
How long ago was that?
Yeah, exactly. How long ago was that? He's probably touching 98 now, I
He's
bet.
not touching 98. I guarantee you, he might be touching low 80s, but he's not touching anything over 85.
He was hitting what, 68 with a football, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I know, but throwing a baseball is completely different than throwing football.
I know it, but he's oh my god, if only his father had done it for a living and taught him how to do it.
Yeah, but you see where his father's at now.
Okay, well, fine. Would you rather be kicked in the nards by Harrison Butker or be hit in the nards with a fastball by Patrick Mahomes Sr. in his prime?
I'm still taking the fastball. I'm telling you, because the kick is going to hurt us so much more worse. You got the bone. You got
But
the
listen,
bone of the toes.
the
Kickers have
baseball-
to. Harrison Butker can nail 60-yard field goals. Let's just not throw that. He can kick
What
the
if
shit
it's
out of a
like
football.
a 96-mile-an-hour cutter and it hits you on the top of the dick and then dips down and just rips it all off?
I mean, that's what cutters do.
Exactly. That's why it's called a cutter.
I'll still take the fastball. I'll still take the
All right.
fastball.
All right.
What
I
you?
think,
I mean, it's a
taking the-
lose-lose situation. This entire thing, but I mean, it's like
yeah, I think I'm taking the kick.
My nuts feel sore thinking about it right now. So it's like
I think I'm taking the kick so I could stare him. I could force myself to stare him right in the eyes and say, "Is that all you got? Is that all you got, Harrison? You bitch."
oh man, no, I could.
Do
Yeah,
it again. Thank you, sir. Man, have another.
That's why you just want to call him that. That's why you want him to kick you.
Yeah, I want to call Harrison Butker a bitch. Like, that's all you got? You bitch. All right.
Veach season, baby.
All right, before we get out of here, who should we select in this Fans First Media mock draft that we're
I don't know if we can disclose what the others have already picked.
No, I don't think we can either, per se.
Because honestly, I don't even know if the Panthers even know they're doing this right now. Unless they've updated. Have the Panthers even picked yet?
The Panthers have picked.
Finally, it took them 48 hours. The Colts are on the clock right now.
Yeah, Colts are on the clock right now. So we still have a little bit of time until
I say we get a hold of the people who are 19, and because there's nobody there, we trade up and get Kelvin Banks Jr.
Are we allowed to trade up in this thing?
I don't think we are.
I know, because right now, I don't know if we're allowed to divulge who has been taken. I don't know.
I don't think we can.
Nobody told us the rules to this.
You know what?
We just said that Kelvin Banks Jr. is still there.
You know what? If he's there, James Pierce Jr. If he drops, James Pierce Jr.
If he drops James Pierce Jr., if he drops Kelvin Banks Jr., if he drops Luther Burden.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if he drops Luther Burden. We'll just say all of our if he drops, and then that way people can start to know who's already been taken.
If he drops Walter Nolan.
Yeah, if he drops Walter Nolan. If he drops, I would say Kenneth Grant.
If he drops Jade Barron.
Yep, I would say that.
No, he's not dropping. He's not dropping.
Oh, you broke the game. You broke the rules, Kramer.
You about to say where he's going.
We're gonna get in trouble. If he drops Armand Mimbu,
Even you know some bullshit. If we get in trouble for just talking about this and not some of the shit that we say, that'd be hilarious.
That would be great if they're like, "Oh, you guys, we gotta let you go because
them Veach season boys."
Because you effed up the mock draft. If he drops Tishoria McMillan,
holy cow! I didn't realize we're doing the entire. Oh, we're doing the first 2 rounds.
First 2 rounds.
Okay, I didn't know. I thought we were doing. For some reason, I thought we were doing the entire draft for a second. I'm like, oh, brother.
No, just the first 2 rounds. But it's taking these guys forever to make their picks. It's gonna be funny because literally a second that we get on the clock, we're gonna be like refreshing and watching our phones until it's our turn, and then we're gonna like make it immediately, and then it's gonna be
no. Here's the thing. We're not making it immediately. We're taking our sweet ass time. If they're taking their sweet ass time, we're taking our sweet ass time.
We're going live to debate the board.
Brett agrees with me on that, and we're taking our sweet ass time.
We're taking our sweet ass time. We should hop on a podcast and just record a quick debate, like a quick 10-minute debate of ours and make our selection.
Okay.
All right. So we're in agreement though that Will Campbell is our number 1 target. That if he's not going to be there though, but then we have our other guys. If he's there, we'll take him. If he's there, Emeka Egbuka. Yeah. So all right. We got a plan. Kramer.
You know, Teddy Buchanan, if he's there.
If he's there, Teddy Buchanan. If he's there.
He will be there.
Yeah, he'll 100% be there. If he's there, Dylan Fairchild. If he's there, Zeke. If he's there, Zeke Biggers.
He's there, Josh Cornelli Jr.
Yeah, Josh Cornelli Jr. He will be there, I think, and I would not hate it. But honest to God, the Chiefs do need a defensive tackle, and if they take a guy named Zeke Biggers in the 7th round, I'm not going to be mad about it.
What about that
Thor Griffin?
Can't wait the day when that one Noah kid's going to be ready to be drafted.
Oh yeah,
Noah. I'm not going to say it because it's just I just don't want to say it.
What was it? There's General Booty was a quarterback for was that UNLV this year?
Right.
Yeah, he was a quarterback. I wouldn't hate it if the Chiefs ever drafted General Booty to play back.
I love some Booty.
I just love names in general. Yeah, but no. So we're taking Howard Cross the third, 31 overall, right?
No, yep. we'll do the second round.
Yeah, second round. Okay, good. All right, that's all we got. A solid hour and 17 minutes. At least 20 minutes of that was quality Chiefs footage, quality Chiefs talk. I would say, Kramer. So
more than 20. It was more like 40 minutes of quality.
We'll get some good 5-star reviews out of this one. But as always, thank you very much for the privilege of your time and for rocking with us. I am Rocky Magaña. He's Kramer Serta. Be good to each other.
Hold on. Who? Kramer who?
Kramer Serta. Oh, man. He's Kramer Sansone. I am Rocky Serta. Jokes. I'm Rocky Magaña. Be good to each other. Thank you so much for the privilege of your time, and we'll talk to you guys soon.